Test, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Let me know how we sounding. So the markers are taking off without us. So we just gotta wait for some retracements. GJ ended up continuing flying last night. What else? Ended up surpassing all the TPs too. I didn't hold the trade though. I got wicked out. But as you can see, I think ended up flying all day yesterday. GJ ended up pushing back into the bullish momentum as well. So now we're gonna be looking for buys on GU today. Gold kept on flying. And then again, I told y'all US30 sells yesterday. Obviously, because of the holiday, it didn't take off and do the drop until a couple hours ago, and it's still taking off as we speak. So we simply just have to wait for the next retracement. That's all we're waiting for right now is the next retracement. Let me know how the audio sounds, y'all. Let me know how the audio sounds. We do also have GBP news in about an hour. So we're probably not going to take anything until after the fact as well. Just set some alerts right here. Make sure I like the lives, y'all hop up in here. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Just dropped a new video for y'all yesterday. Make sure to check that out after the live is over. Got a new video lined up for y'all today as well. So we're going to be looking for some more buys on GJ. Again, if y'all watch the Sunday chart analysis, like I always tell y'all, the Sunday chart analysis goes over not just what we see price doing Sunday night going into Monday, but what we see price doing throughout the entire week. I told y'all I was looking for GJ buys and US30 sales. Also on yesterday's live stream. And then once the volume picked up, what US30 ended up doing, dropping. So we missed this entry because obviously it took off a couple hours ago. So we got no choice but to wait for a retracement. It's already did a big ass move for the day too, so I would like to see a retracement so we can catch another move. So we're gonna let price do its thing right now. And then gold ended up flying as well, so nothing we can do about that. Yeah, I think took off Tokyo session. Nothing we can do about that. So now we're about to look for some retests and retracements on GJ and US30 right now. If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop in the chat. But we're about to see if we can catch a setup right here. Now, depending on how the market looks, I might wait till after the GBP news pops off to take a setup, especially because they already did a big ass move. So I'd like to see some retracements before we hop in anyways. Let me know if the audio sounds good. Let me know if the mic sounds good, y'all. Let me know how we sounding. Let me know how we sounding. This would have been a nice move to catch. Let's see who's going to retrace for us. Worst come to worst, we'll just enter at the next spot. Yeah, but we had big moves take place last night. So again, anybody that be talking about Tokyo session ain't no volume. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C, right? So again, it doesn't matter what time of the day it is. There's always going to be a volume or no volume in each session. There's always going to be opportunities. So now we just got to wait because we missed a lot of the setups. So we just got to wait for some retracements. If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop in the chat. If y'all just joined the live, make sure to rewind to the beginning so you know what we got going on, what the game plan is. I will reiterate it in a little bit, but y'all already know the drill. We're just chilling, patiently waiting. Let us see what this next 5 and 15 looks like. Those just joined the live, we have not entered any trades yet. These are just trade ideas. We have not entered any trades yet. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join us free signal, free Telegram. Y'all see your screens how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. Again, we're just waiting for some retracements because price did some big ass moves last night. And y'all already know what I gotta say about when price does big ass moves before New York, and especially when London session just started. Retracements are due, right? So we're gonna let price retrace. So we do have GDP news at 4:45. So we're most likely gonna let price marinate and do his thing until then. We're gonna see if we can find a setup though. But if we don't find one, we're just gonna let price do his thing until the news pops off. And then was also looking at this US30 sell. Again, was looking for sales here last night. Well, not last night, yesterday. But as you can see, price failed to hold as resistance all day yesterday. And then at 1 a.m., you can see it fucking tanked. And then did another drop right here. So we're just waiting for some retracement. Again, a lot of charts. All the charts we're looking at did big ass moves last night. So we're just waiting for some retracements or some next retest. New 15 just popped up though. Let's see what GJ's got in store for us. This is the thing about trading. Sometimes you just gotta wait a little bit. But again, this is what I was talking about. Again, if y'all was in the TikTok live yesterday, shout out to those that was. But make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Y'all see it scrolling at the bottom of y'all screens. Instagram, playmaker_way. TikTok, _playmakerway_. Post daily on both pages. But this is what I was talking about the TikTok live. And like I talk about all the time, this is why I have alerts. Because sometimes the markers are going to be a little bit slow. Or sometimes you're going to have to wait a little bit for your setups to come into play. So again, you either just stare at the charts all day, watch paint dry, which causes impatience, FOMO, and anything else, or you just set alerts so as soon as price hits one of your levels, you're notified and you can hop in on it. But yeah, and it's crazy too because my alerts were going crazy last night, but I ignored them because I don't really trade Tokyo session anymore unless I don't take a set of New York or London session. But literally all the setups played out last night, so we just gotta wait for some retracements now. So with GJ, we're gonna continue to look for buys. Again, if y'all was in the live stream yesterday, you know we took GJ buys yesterday. Hit TP2, got wicked out, re-entered New York session. And it did end up hitting the final TP yesterday. I don't know if any members held. I personally closed before market closed. And you can see it did a drop last night, and then Tokyo session I think flew back to the upside. Right, just like we was talking about in the Sunday chart analysis, GJ buys. GU also flipped back to the bullish momentum. So if you watch the Sunday chart analysis, we're back in the buy area in the buy range. So we're gonna look for buys on GU again. And then yesterday, US30 ended up tanking as well, like we talked about. So we're just waiting for some retracements right now. Again, all these charts are big ass moves. So again, when there's a big move already took place, let's go into a naked chart really quick. Actually, let's do it on US30. I think it'll be a lot clearer to look at on US30. And again, if y'all have any questions, drop in the chat and I got y'all. Alright, so we go to the naked chart right here. Alright. So this one doesn't look as extreme as the other chart, but when we already have a big ass move happening, right? If we look at all these other candlesticks, this is how price ended on the day, right? So we've already done an average daily move and London session just started. So when you see big moves like this take place early in the day, we're either going to see abnormally large candlestick form like this one, or like this one, right? Or like this one, or this is what causes the wicks. We're going to see price retrace or consolidate a little bit. So we might see that take place after the beginning of the New York session, the middle of the New York session, or we might see that take place pre-New York. But right now, that thing's just ripping, so nothing we can do about that. So US30, we are going to be looking for continued sells as long as we can maintain 48,800 as resistance. So we're either going to look for price to retest that level, or if we could break below, maintain 48,620 as a resistance, we could look for sells go to 48,490. But we're looking for sales today nonetheless. GJ, same thing. GJ, we're going to be looking for buys. So we're going to look to see if it can maintain here 213 as support. If so, we can look for buys going to 213.30, or we could possibly see price retrace down to these levels as well. We're about to see if we're going to hold this level again. Look at how price reacted once it touched this level. This is why we mark these levels, also why we enter and exit out these levels. But again, it's just a little bit of a patience game right now. It's all just to it. We're going to be looking for GU buys as well. As long as we can maintain 34.65 support, we can look for buys on GU also. So we're going to be looking for buys on GU too. Again, if y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at these charts, drop in the chat. I got a good, nice video dropping for y'all today. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. Have y'all's noties on. Dropped a video for y'all yesterday as well. Make sure to check that out after the live is over. But yeah, so we're about to see how these markets play out right here. We got a few setups. We're about to see how US30 reacts here. So in a perfect world, US30 will retrace back up and we can look for a setup here. But we're going to see if we live in a perfect world today or not. But again, look how price is halting at this level. And just look at this big ass lower low. That thing just ripped through this level here. Yeah, I definitely want to see retracement and retest going into New York session. But again, just like GJ, look at how I halted at this level. This is why we enter and exit off these levels. Look at how price broke here, retested, and continued to push. That's exactly why we enter and exit out these levels. But again, I'm not against these retracements at all because again, retracements are good for us because we get to catch the next push. Especially if it did a big ass move. So I'm going to let this thing keep retracing. I got no issue with that. Game plan still buys nonetheless. Game plan still buys nonetheless. I want to put the stop loss. I'll do this type of stop loss. Let's see how price reacts here. If it rips too hard, I might have to add some more levels. Cause I didn't really add any more levels because again, it's already did a big ass move for today. Look at this move right here. Definitely got to see a retracement take place. Definitely got to see a retracement. But as far as how we're doing so far this week, we're 1-0 or 2-0, depending on if you re-entered. And as far as we did last week, we went 5-0 last week, and then not 5-0, 5-1 last week, excuse me, and then 5-1 the week before that. So we're off to a great start this year, picking up where we left off last month. But yeah, we're just chilling right now, y'all. We're just chilling. Alright, so we reject this level here. Again, y'all, we know what the game plan is, so now we're just waiting for price to hold on our levels. Alright, again, this is also why I be talking about on breakout trade or just enter a setup because price touched the level. This is also why I don't set buy or sell limits, because again, what would happen if we had a buy limit here? Would have got wicked out, right? So again, it's not just enough for price to touch a level or break a level. It also has to hold the level, right? Just look right here. Imagine we would have went for a sell here in phone mode and went for a breakout trade. We would be right about to get our stop loss hit for no reason, right? And then this is when people be talking about fake outs, liquidity grabs, and things like that. But again, what is needed for price to go down? Price needs to hold levels as resistance, right? So if price did not hold this level as resistance, it's not going to continue to push down unless we have a shit ton of volume like this take place, right? So again, it makes sense if price is still holding a level as support for it to reject and go the opposite direction. You see what I'm saying? So again, this is why you want to wait for the break and retest. Again, look how many times you would have took a loss yesterday trying to go for a breakout trade on the sell setup. This is what I was talking about live yesterday. You can know what your game plan or bias is, but it doesn't mean it's going to do it when you see it or want to see it happen, right? Because we talked about sells yesterday, but the sells didn't play out until all the way last night, almost 24 hours later. You see what I'm saying? Because again, we was live 3 a.m. talking about sells, and it didn't do a drop and break this level till 1 a.m. So literally almost 24 hours later, it did the move I was looking for. But again, y'all, we do have GBP news in about an hour. We have GBP news at 4:45. So we're probably going to wait for that to play out. And then obviously we can't take a US30 setup because that thing already ripped and tanked. And then gold proceeded to make new all-time highs. All right, so again, this is also why you want to go with the flow of price, because anyone tried to go for sales yesterday, unless you was on like the 30-second chart, you probably got fucked up a couple times, right? Especially try to go last night for sales. So again, always just go with the flow of price. It makes life easier for you. I missed that setup. I might start trading gold Tokyo session again. I was doing that before the holidays. I might start doing that again on one of my accounts. Just did a nice move last night. What did it do yesterday? Well, yesterday was market open, so it doesn't really count. Nice moves Thursday night. The Tokyo session be having nice moves for gold. But yeah, so this is another example of why I don't be on the charts all day, because sometimes days are like this. You know what I'm saying? But this is still good for y'all to see, because again, this is the realistic side of trading. Every day's not gonna be the exact same, right? Like around this time yesterday, we ended up taking a buy setup, but it doesn't look like we're gonna take a buy setup at this time like we did yesterday. New 5-minute just popped up. Again, y'all, if you have any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop in the chat. Appreciate those that like the live. We're almost at we're almost at 5,000, but we're almost at 4,600 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe. We can get to that easily this week. Again, I just dropped a video for y'all yesterday. I got a good video, super in-depth video dropping for y'all today as well. So make sure you have y'all's notice on to be on the lookout for that. But again, you see how prices were tracing. You see how I did a big ass move prior to London and New York. And you see how it's retracing. So now we're going to be able to catch a setup now. We just still got to wait for our levels to be hit and held though. So that's why I want to see US30 do too. So like I said, US30 in a perfect scenario is going to retest this level here. By New York session, we look for a sell setup here. That'd be amazing. But we're gonna wait to see what happens. We could take a look at NAS100 too. I am liking US30 over NAS100, but we can take a look at NAS100 really quick. Just since we ain't got nothing else going on, might as well look at some other shit. Yeah, NAS isn't terrible either. I just have to update my levels, obviously. But NAS isn't terrible either for a setup. Still liking US30 a little bit more though, but NAS might wake up after this week, because again, that thing was just consolidating and ranging for a cool minute. I might as well get rid of these levels. We don't need these levels right now. I gotta redo them anyways. Y'all asleep today. The chat was jumping yesterday. But I know it's still the beginning of the week. It's still Tuesday and shit. I know y'all don't really be up to the middle and the end of the week. But I'm gonna keep these alerts. I'm just deleting everything else. I'll probably redo these for the New York session. Let's see what this next 5-minute looks like. So we might be on for a little bit longer. I don't know if we're going to be on all the way till 5, but I am curious to see how the GP news does play out. We don't have any other news besides that today. And on top of it being a Tuesday, like I always say, Mondays and Tuesdays are typically the slowest days out the week. Things start to pick up Wednesday through Thursday. But we also don't have any news until, as far as USD is concerned, until tomorrow. And they're also waking up off a bank holiday. But like I said, that thing fucking ripped last night and gold fucking exploded. Get rid of all this shit right here. Alright. And the reason why price gapped up Sunday night going into Monday, we could talk about that as well. You don't really see a gap on this chart, but it still did the same shit. All right, so let's break it down. Why did price continue to push up, even though we saw a red candlestick right here? Let's talk about it. Now, this is what we talk about during the TikTok lives. I usually keep this to TikTok lives, but again, ain't shit going on, so might as well talk about some stuff a little bit. So again, if you do not have your copy of the price action technical analysis playbook, you need to click the links in the description and get your copy ASAP. All right. So just like I talk about in all the trade breakdowns, and like I talk about during the TikTok lives, when we bust open the playbook and we go to the rules of the uptrend, what does the rules of the uptrend say? Let's pull it out and find out. In order for the uptrend to continue, we need to break past the previous high, which gives us a new higher high. Look at photo below. We also have to respect the support level the higher low is resting on. So again, red does not mean sell, green does not mean buy. We see clear higher lows and higher highs getting made here. Just like we talked about the TikTok lives and the YouTube trade breakdowns, we need to break past this high right here. And we need to maintain the support level the higher low is resting on. Right? Very simple. Right? So when we saw price retrace on Thursday, that is why we went for buys on Thursday, because even though it was a red candlestick, we maintained that level as support, which is why you saw price push to the upside. You see what I'm saying? Now again, this is not the same way I mark out my key price levels, but as you can see, a support level is a support level, a resistance level is a resistance level, right? But the support resistance levels all over the place. And depending on how big the higher high, the higher low is, it is not wise to just simply wait for the next higher low to look for entry exit, because you could be missing setups in between the range. You see what I'm saying? But again, same thing. What would have happened? You would have broke out traded just because price broke this level. You would have got wicked out and then fell for another quote unquote fake out liquidity grab, right? So that's why yesterday and today price proceeded to push up. And that's why last week and this week during the Sunday chart analysis and throughout the week, we talked about what with gold. We talked about buys, right? That's also why, what did we do last week with gold? And what have we been doing for the past few weeks on gold? We've been going for buy setups, right? Again, do not chase price, but follow the flow of price. When you follow the flow of price, trading becomes very simple. Trades become a lot less stressful, and you'll be able to catch moves consistently, right? So that's why last week we went for buy setups on gold, as well as US30 NAS100, right? Obviously, US30 NAS100 reversed on this, which is why we're looking for sales now, because they broke the rules of the uptrend. But we're about to see how this next hour pops off. Again, we might stay on till the news, might not, depends how markets are looking, but I do got a few things to knock out before New York session starts. But again, y'all, if I got any questions, drop in the chat. But if not, I'm just gonna have the music play, and we're just gonna watch these charts do what they're gonna do, because there ain't too much else to talk about. We just gotta simply just wait. But again, don't just be in here waiting for signals. All right, pay attention to how the markets are forming, how the markets are reacting to the levels, and things like that. But we're about to see if we can hold this level as support. Again, if we would have broke out traded here a phone mode because we would have woke up and missed this big ass setup that took place at 2 a.m. Again, we had news at 2 a.m. Is it scary that we broke back into the bullish momentum and the news pushed price up? No, right? Members, just like we go live during the news every week, watch the news recordings. Those that just joined, make sure to, whether you're in the Advanced Play Signal or Playmaker University, make sure to go to the past videos, right? And when you go to where it says subscribers or media, go to the past videos. And when you go to the past videos, you'll have access to all the past New York price watch lists, but you'll also have access to the past New York news lives. All right, so make sure to watch the New York lives so you can see how price plays out during news and how everything still follows the rules of price and sticks to the playbook, right? But if we would have fumbled a broke out trader here, we would have had our stop loss wicked out, and this is where people will be talking about, oh, my stop loss got hunted, fake out liquidity grabs. But again, for price to go up, we need to do what? We need to break resistance levels and hold them as support, right? Just like right here, price broke this level, but did it blow past it? No. Did it hold that support? No, which is why price rejected. But we see when the volume came in, it blew through this level. Same thing right here, price broke this level, but did it turn this level from resistance to support? No. That's why we literally see even now when it's reacting to my key price level, is being held as resistance. Again, you want to enter buys off support, sells off resistance. You don't want to enter buys off resistance, sells off support, because you're fighting against momentum, right? You're fighting against the momentum and the rules of price. But let's see what this next hour looks like. I gotta make some tea after this. My throat fucked. Pause. I think I've just been talking too much lately. But I'm still got these videos lined up for y'all. Like I said, I got a nice video dropping for y'all today. It's a little bit different from my usual videos, but it's still a good one. And I know y'all gonna enjoy it, so make sure to be on the lookout for that. Make sure to explore the playlist as well, y'all. Guarantee there's a video that's going to help y'all out. Check out the day trading tips playlist. Then of course the trade breakdown playlist, over 140 plus trade breakdowns and counting. All right, new hour just popped up. So again, you see our price broke here, but closed here. This is what I'll be talking about. This is what I was talking about in the live yesterday on TikTok. And I forgot to record the TikTok live. I'm gonna start recording the TikTok lives, y'all. I promise. I'm gonna start recording them. I just gotta remember to do it. So I'm gonna try to remember to do it today. It's just gonna become a routine. I'm gonna start doing it every time we go live on TikTok. All right, because I know some of y'all be missing. I know some of y'all be at work, so I will be recording those and uploading them on YouTube. I'm not even going to do no funny shit. I'm just going to post them. Fuck it. I'm not going to like put a pay block. I'm just going to post them on YouTube and just have y'all watch that. I'm just trying to figure out like what I'm going to title them. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to just title it. I got to figure out something to title it. Like the live show. I know what I titled them on TikTok, but you know, YouTube's different from TikTok and Instagram. Speaking of which, all y'all that be following me on Instagram, what y'all got against my Instagram? Y'all do not be showing love like TikTok be showing love. I know the algorithm's different, but y'all folks on Instagram, y'all do not be watching my posts. What's going on? I don't know what's going on with Instagram. I know the algorithm's different, but y'all don't be watching my posts. Y'all don't be liking. But TikTok and YouTube, when I post my shorts and videos, that shit be getting liked the fuck up. I don't know what's going on with Instagram. But make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Make sure I have y'all's noties on. I know Instagram is weird. I don't know. Instagram is weird. Instagram is weird. Instagram is weird. If I post a 7-second video, it goes viral. But when I post teaching content, that shit does not get pushed at all. It's fucking weird as hell. But we're going to still figure it out regardless. Shout out to those that do be liking, because I do be seeing those that be liking. So I ain't going to act like there don't be people that don't be liking, but TikTok, I'll be way more active on TikTok and YouTube. What's going on, Emmanuel? I see you up in here. Yo, I've been keeping up with you. I'm earning as we speak. Keep the energy up. I'm trading Euro, JPY, USD, JPY, and gold. That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to you. And yeah, we're just getting started. Like I said, we're slowly taking over. We're slowly but surely taking over. We're taking over YouTube. We're gonna be taking over TikTok. I'm not getting up on Instagram, but like I said, I don't know what the fuck Zuckerberg got against my ass, but we're taking over everything. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. Like I said, I'm done being petty and rebelling on TikTok. I'm tired of restarting my TikTok account. Like I said, this is like my 5th TikTok account. I'm tired of restarting, so I'm following the rules and shit now. So we're just gonna be slowly growing and pushing the playbook. All right, that's what we're gonna be doing. I used to trade Euro JPY back in the day. It's been going well for now. I'll keep trying. Can't see the screen. Yeah, the screen got fucked up. Can y'all see the screen now? The screen lagged out. Let me know if y'all can see the screen now. Y'all should be able to see it now. But the screen did lag out for a little bit. Yeah, but I used to trade Euro JPY back in the day. I haven't traded it in like 2 years, but I used to trade everything back in the day. That's why I'm so confident with taking setups and telling y'all that, again, this strategy works on everything, because I literally tested it out and used to trade everything. You see what I'm saying? Like, again, we've been doing this shit since 2022. I'm trying to find some old charts that you wouldn't see me call out today. But again, we've been catching the same types of move. Nothing really changed besides our stuff's a little bit more accurate, but we've been doing this shit for a long time. I'm trying to find like Euro USD. You ain't heard me say Euro pairs in a long ass time. I I used to trade all types of shit like Euro GBP, which I do not trade anymore. I used to trade Swiss franc pairs. I used to trade all types of shit. Silver, GBPUSD. Like, y'all never hear me say shit like this. I used to trade all types of shit back in the day. 80 New Zealand. So that's how I know like this shit works on everything, because I literally tested it out on everything. I'm trying to find some other shit. Like, there's some more out-of-pocket charts I used to trade. Like euros. Like, if y'all trade Swiss franc pairs, shout out to y'all, because Swiss franc pairs are fucking bullshit. That was a nice setup we caught that day though. But again, I used to trade all types of stuff: Euro, CHF, GBP New Zealand, silver. I used to trade oil. Man, we used to tear out oil. Like, y'all was here in 2024. We used to fuck up oil. I ain't gonna lie. Let me see if we can find some old trades. Again, we're just chilling. Ain't nothing going on, so we might as well just talk about some shit. But again, still pay attention to how prices reacting to these levels. Might see how US30 plays out there. Let me see if we could, like, we used to tear up oil before it started consolidating. I wonder if oil's doing any better now. Let me be smart and not try to scroll through everything. It's the power of Telegram. Again, if y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop in the chat. Again, we wrapped up the entirety of 2025 with an 85% win rate. Hit that first link in the description, join the free signal, free Telegram. 232 wins, 30 losses, all 12 months combined. Caught almost 1 million pips last year. We did better than we did. We wrapped up 2025 better than we did 2024. But we still did a good ass job. But I'm trying to see if we can find some trades back in the day when we was trading oil, because we used to fuck up oil back in the day. All right, so this is how we ended up 2024. So we did a lot better last year than we did the year beforehand. Man, I'm telling you, nothing changed with the date in the year. We still do the same shit. I'm trying to find the oil setups. I might pull up oil, but if it looks fucked up, I'm just gonna close and pretend I never pulled the oil back up. I can't find any screenshots of the oil setups. I'm talking about, maybe it wasn't 2024, maybe it was 2023, maybe that's what it was. You're gonna look how GJ is reacting to this level right here. Gold's still pushing, so we're probably not going to touch gold today unless it retraces. The thing's been pushing crazy. No, it wasn't your phone. It was on my setup too. Sometimes it glitches out a little bit. Yeah, oil's still fucking choppy as hell, so we're not trading that shit no more. We used to trade that shit all the time. So maybe it was 2023 we used to trade that shit. Yeah, it was 2023 we used to trade that shit. I used to have nice smooth setups, and then as you can see, it got super choppy, so we started trading that shit. Like, look at this, it's disgusting. Just disgusting. Even now, it's still chop city. We might see some action later on this year, but as of now, we're still not gonna touch that shit. That shit looks filthy. Let's see what GBPJPY is looking like. So GBPJPY kept on flying and taking off. GBPJPY looks like GJ right now too, so we might see a smooth setup the rest of this week also. But again, why did we talk about GJ buys yesterday? Why did we go for GJ buys yesterday? Alright? The same reason why we take every setup we take, right? Again, once you understand that red, and look at this retracement, what did I tell y'all? I told y'all we was going to see price retrace, and what has GJ done all fucking session so far? Retraced, right? Again, once you rip the band-aid off, and you take the time to learn how the markets work, you realize how simple it is. Because the markets do the same shit over and over again. They just do it differently, but they do the same shit over and over again. right? They don't come up with new tricks. Only quote unquote new tricks prices came up with is all-time highs. Besides all-time highs, price is doing the same shit. And even with the all-time highs, price is still doing the same shit. You see what I'm saying? So if y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop in the chat. We're going to be on for a little bit longer, y'all. We're going to be on for a little bit longer. Again, we're just waiting for GJ to retrace some more. We do have GDP news at 4:45, so we might wait till New York session to take a setup. Or we might see something at 6 a.m. for GJ. Missed this US30 setup, played out while I was in bed sleep, which happens. So again, with US30, we're either going to look for a price to break below and maintain 48,620 as a resistance, and look for sales going to 48,480. Or if it can retrace and retest and maintain 48,810 as resistance, we can look for sales going back to the downside. And then GU and GJ, we're looking for buys. So with GU, as long as we can maintain 34.65 as support, we're going to look for buys. But if it can break above and maintain 34.85 as support, we can look for buys going to 3,500. And then GJ, again, look where it's at. It's right back, basically where it started the day at. And again, look how price is reacting to this level. Again, it broke this level, but did it hold? No, right? Look how price is now holding that level as support. See what I mean? So again, never breakout trade, always wait for the retest. So I wouldn't be against this buy setup here. Only thing is there's news right around the corner. That's literally the only thing about that setup. Again, y'all, if y'all did not watch this week's Sunday chart analysis, definitely make sure to watch this week's Sunday chart analysis, because now there is no excuse. I done switched up the tiers. Now there's literally opportunity for everybody to become a playmaker now. So again, make sure to watch the Sunday chart analysis. I talked about in the beginning of the Sunday chart analysis. I'm gonna start posting about it more, because I know I don't be doing the best job letting y'all know what I got going on, but I'm gonna start doing that. But again, it's just a little bit of the patience game, y'all. That's just what trading is. But this is also why, like I always talk about, why I don't be at the computer all day, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally like watching paint dry sometimes. So, like, if I am at the desk, I'll be watching something on the other screen, or got something in my earphones, editing videos, one-on-one session, whatever the case may be. But again, trading, you don't just have to stare at the charts, right? Do something on the side to make time go by, or like I said, just do whatever. And then once an alert pops off, you get a text on your phone or computer, and then that's when you hop onto the charts. So we're about to see how this next 15 closes. So we can hold this level of support. This isn't a terrible buy position. Again, the only thing about this is we have news right around the corner, but this would not be a terrible buy setup, right? But there is still that small chance that the news could cause a possible reversal or trend change. But if we can maintain these levels of support, we're still gonna look for buys. And again, you see how price keeps breaking this level, but it's not holding. Again, do not break out trade. Always wait for the break and retest. Always wait for the break and retest. I definitely gotta make some tea. I don't know what's going on in the air. I must have walked by somebody disgusting yesterday or something. What's going on, Cooking? What's going on, Cooking? Please show US30 again. Yeah, no problem. So again, with US30, we're gonna look for sales. So if y'all was in the live stream yesterday, we was talking about US30 sales here. Obviously, it did not play out until last night, and then it took off some more. So we're looking for sales still nonetheless, right? So with US30, we're either gonna look for price to break below and maintain 48,620 as resistance, to look for sales going to 48,480. Or if we can retrace and maintain 48,810 as resistance, we can look for sales going back down to the downside, right? Now, I want price to maintain this level as a resistance, but if it breaks past this point, we'll be sucked back into reversal territory. But if we can maintain this level as resistance, we can see the downtrend come into play this week. So that's the game plan with US30. And again, if we would have broke out traded here, we would have got a stop loss hit for no reason. So again, there's literally no rush to jump into setups, and always wait for the break and retest. Always wait for the break and retest. New 15 just popped up, so now I'm about to see if we can hold this level of support right here. We're going to be on for a little bit longer, y'all. If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at these charts, drop in the chat. U15 just popped up again. We had our stop loss hit. Look how US30 is reacting to this level again. US30 just broke this level. GJ is trying to push back up. Cooking, yes I did. So hit that first link in the description. To join the free signal free Telegram, and then watch the Sunday chart analysis. I went over all the details and stuff in the Sunday chart analysis, but I will talk about it right here as well. So give me 1 second. And again, if y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. Give me 1 second. You said you're going to do something for the people who can't afford the full price of university package this week. Yes, I did. Correct. So, again, watch the Sunday chart analysis, but there is tiers to the playmakers now, okay? There are tiers to the playmakers. So, when you click, give me 1 second. When you click, where the fuck is it? When you click the link, any of the beacons links, right? You click the beacons links. Of course, it's going to show up on my other screen. Let me drag this bitch over. There we go. there are tiers now, okay? This is tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. So I made it a lot more organized so y'all understand how the shit works. So tier 1 is Playmaker alerts, okay? That is tier 1. So with Playmaker alerts, you get the daily New York price watch list, where I do a recap of how London session played out, the trades we took during London session, and setups to look for going into New York session. I go over exact price points I'm looking for entries and X's at. I tell you whether I'm looking for buys or sells. And then you also get notifications throughout the day when my key price levels get hit, as well as screenshots of trade ideas. All right, so that's Playmaker alerts. And all this stuff but Playmaker University is monthly, right? These are all monthly subscriptions. Playmaker University is lifetime, right? Okay. Now, if you want lifetime signals, there's also lifetime signals and yearly signals, right? But everything here is monthly subscriptions besides Playmaker University. So your phone bill, Netflix, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Prime, whatever, Hulu, it's like any subscription service. When you first click the link before you purchase, you have to make an account and sign up. That day you purchase and sign up is the day the next month is going to be due. Also, again, put in the email that you actually use, because before the subscription is due, 3 days prior, you get a reminder email letting you know, hey, it's about to renew in 3 days. Do you want to keep it going, or do you want to log back in? Because I make you make an email and password to the account to manage your subscription. Again, it's like any other subscription. So keep track of when you sign up, all right? And check y'all's emails, okay? So then we go to tier 2. And tier 2 is advanced play signals. So you get everything in tier 1, including signals, including access to the group chat, because you don't get access to the group chat and Playmaker alerts. And then also you get access to the weekly New York news live streams. And of course you get all the recordings as well for the past ones when you join. Tier 3 is one-on-one sessions. You get access to everything I just listed. So you get access to the signals so you can earn while you learn. And you also get one session a week. Each session is an hour long, not 10 minutes, not 20 minutes. You don't just get one session, you get one session a week. So that's 4 sessions a month. The record is sent to you same day. Those recordings are yours to keep for life, okay? Then there is the final tier, which is Playmaker University. So you get everything besides one-on-one sessions. Then you also get the price action tech analysis playbook for free, as well as my other book for free. Not that. That's still Playmaker alerts. You also get my other book for free. I mean, you get all my books for free, but this is also the other main book. Where the fuck is it? I just posted it on here somewhere. I posted like a week or 2 ago. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Where the fuck is it at? Matter of fact, we don't even got to do that. We can just do this. All right, you also get this book for free. You get my full strategy video format. And like I said, you get everything I just listed besides the one-on-one sessions. And then on top of that, there's a lot of stuff in the pinned messages. There's a lot of shit you get, right? It's too much to type, but there's a lot of shit you get. So again, if you watch any of the last 3.5 minutes of my YouTube videos, I go over all the details of that besides Playmaker alerts, because I just did that and added that over the weekend. But yeah, so that is the tier list. All right, so that is how this shit works and what we got going on to start off the new year. All right, so again, click the link that I just put in the chat, click the link in the description, hit the free signal for Telegram, click any of the beacons links to free signal for Telegram, so y'all can get access to all that good stuff. All right, so again, GJ is still retracing, so we're gonna let GJ retrace, and we're gonna see how this news plays out. And the US30 is right here, so we're looking for a retest here. Got a new 5-minute about to pop up in a little bit. Again, if y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at your charts, drop in the chat. But again, we're right back where we left off. So imagine if we would have FOMO'd and rushed to buy set up here, rushed to buy set up here, rushed to buy set up here. We would have fucked up our accounts for no reason. But again, the reason why I'm able to just stay cool, calm, and collected, and I also knew that retracement was due, is because again, when you learn how the charts work, you realize the charts do the same shit every single day, right? That's also why I wrote the playbook, because people used to ask me all the time, like, how did you know this? How did you see this happening? Blah, 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 blah. It's because, again, I'm always respecting the rules of price and going with the flow of price. All right, y'all. That's a big ass. I might do it with a looser stop loss. If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop in the chat. But again, definitely take over. Like I said, we're slowly taking over. But this year I plan to take over fully, right? Last year was there was the warning signs, but we're taking over this year. I'm not playing around. Especially on TikTok and YouTube, we're taking over. Instagram, like I said, I gotta get my folks on Instagram's act together. I also gotta figure out that algorithm, because Instagram do not be pushing my shit. It's like, unless it's 60 seconds or less, they do not push my shit. And y'all know I be talking, I actually be teaching in my videos. So, I either gotta talk fast or give half explanations. But I guess that's what you gotta do on fucking Instagram. Let's see what else we got going on. Just finished trades and went up in profit. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yep. So don't trade no more. All right. You took a win, or you took some wins. You're up for the day. You don't got to do shit else. All right. Do not trade anymore, because over trading will hurt your profits. So yeah, you straight for the day. All right, let's see what this next 30 minutes looks like again. So we might be just chilling for the news. Fuck it, we're here now. So we got news at 4:45. So we're gonna see if it does anything significant to the GBP pairs, and then after that, we're most likely, if I don't see anything at 6 o'clock, just gonna wait for 8 o'clock, 9:30 New York to look for a setup. That's how things are kind of looking right now. GU's pushing like this still. So the US30 is in a nice drop. It's just a big ass move already. That's the only thing. We're about to see how this GP news plays out, y'all. About to see how this GP news plays out. US30 is in a nice little drop. It didn't exactly retest my level. It did on the 430 candlestick though. I mean on the 415 going to 430 though. But since it did a big drop like that, I am waiting for it to actually retest it. So we gotta see what these other charts got in store. Again, we had price retrace and cancel out the big ass move we did Tokyo session, right? That's where price started the day at. Did the big ass move, now we're right back where we left off. So depending on what the news does, it's either going to continue to lose momentum, we can look for buys again, riding the way back up, or it's going to possibly flip the script. And if it flips the script, we're not going to look for buys no more. If y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop in the chat. We're about to see how this thing pops off in about 10 minutes. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. It's this one right here. So again, we got 4:45 GBP news. Again, what would have happened would have broke out, traded, would have got wicked out, right? So again, they always want to enter buys up support levels, sells off resistance levels. Alright, so this is what we're looking for. We're looking to see if it's going to retest this level right here. That's what we're looking for right now. Got a new 4-hour about to pop up in 20 minutes too. Would have got wicked out again if we would have went for a buy setup here. Again, hopefully y'all learned one thing from this live minimum. Stop breakout trading. Let's see if US30 retest this level. Again, we got this alert right here. Let's see if we can at least retest that point right there. We got a new 15 about to pop up in 5 minutes. Alright, about to see if the news does anything. Because like I said, depending on how, especially because we retraced this far, depending on how price plays out now and then also New York session, will determine if we continue to look for buys on GJ or not. Right, so as of right now, we're looking at for buys on GJ and GU. Gold took off. We're waiting for a retest on US30. So again, we're just waiting right now. But see if this news does something. Because again, not every high impact news event does something. So that's also another thing to keep in mind. But it's still better to be safe than sorry, right? Because when it does happen, you want to have followed your rules, right? You don't want to be on that shoulda, coulda, woulda shit. Let's see if we can get a retest, y'all. Let's see if we can get a retest. We got GJ pushing up. Let's see how price reacts to this lower right here. Still waiting for a retest on US30. Like I said, like when US30, that thing is tanked up. Like just look how big of a move it did, right? So that's also why I'm not really stressing trying to catch a setup, because again, when it comes to trading, you want to think of every scenario. You don't just want to think of the positive outcome you want to see happen. You want to think of the best and the worst case scenario, right? And then with US30 right here, hold up, I gotta fix something. Hold on one second, because my level looks off. But like I was saying, like since I already did a big move, there's a chance that again it's either going to do a big ass candlestick for the day, or we're going to retrace going into New York session. So instead of taking a bunch of trades over and over again, I like to just take one clean setup, 2 max, and then go about my day. Right? I don't really like to re-enter trades a bunch of times or take like 5 trades a day. All you need is one good clean setup. That's all you need. But I just had to fix my level because my level was off. I must have dragged it on accident. So I actually missed a good setup, which is unfortunate. But it is all good. Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. So I actually fucked up. I actually missed a good setup here, but it is all good. It is all good. I'm about to answer your question in the chat in a second. I just gotta fix this because I fucked up. I actually missed a good entry, but it's all good. It happens. So we actually could have been jumped into that trade, but my levels were off, so I missed that US30 setup, which is unfortunate. So now we definitely got to wait for a retracement because I fucking missed that entry point. Let's see what we got going on here. Can you please explain the retest on US30? Yeah, so retest, all right. Basically what a retest means is like it sounds, right? So if I'm looking for a buy, you watch any of my trade breakdowns on YouTube, what I always say, we want to enter buys off of support levels, right? So if you do not have, where's my phone at? Let me grab my phone really quick. Okay, so if y'all do not understand how support resistance works and price action, even if you think you do understand how support resistance works, still watch these two videos here, okay? I'm about to drop in the chat. Still watch these two videos right here. So let me pull it up really quick. So I'll watch this video and then watch this video, okay? This goes with support resistance price action, all right? And then after you watch those videos, watch this video right here. Again, I'm telling you, I got a video for everything on this channel. I'm telling you, I got a video for everything, okay? So watch those videos there. Okay. Boom. Alright. So this is why I also preach to get the playbook or become a playmaker and understand how to read the charts, because it's so important to understand how to read the charts. All right. So I could break it down with US30, but it's going to make more sense if you see examples of what I'm talking about. All right. So let's say I was looking for this buy setup right here, right? So the internet would tell you that, okay, so let's rewind really quick, right? So let's say I see price pushing up and I'm looking for a buy setup right here, right? So let's go ahead and put our entry, let's put our stop loss, or probably some shit like this, right? And then let's put our TP, right? Boom, right? So let's say I'm looking for a buy setup here. The internet tells you as soon as price hits that level, enter a buy, right? Or people will, instead of wait for price to come there, set a buy limit here, which is what I don't recommend. So let's see what would have happened if we would have went for a buy setup here. Price broke the level, would have got rejected. The internet would have said this was a fake out liquidity sweep, your stop loss got hunted, or the bears just magically came into play. But what I'm telling you is the reason why, and one of the main causes of fake out liquidity sweeps is not waiting for the retest. A lot of y'all just go for the break, but y'all don't wait for the retest, right? So again, let's pull it back up to when price comes back up here. Again, what would have happened if just because price broke this level, you would have went for a buy? You would have took another loss and the internet would have said, oh, look, I keep on getting manipulated. Look at these fake out liquidity graphs. But the reason why you keep on getting faked out, your liquidity is getting swept, is because you're chasing price instead of following the flow of price. But most importantly is because, again, this is why I talk about the playbook. For price to go up, what needs to happen? We need to maintain support levels and break resistance levels, as well as turn resistance levels into support. For price to push up, it bounces off of support levels, right? We can all agree price bounces off of support levels, right? So what do you think is going to happen if you enter off of a resistance level? The exact opposite. Price is going to reject down. So if I'm looking for price to go up, it makes zero sense to enter off of resistance level, because resistance levels pushes price down, right? So again, what I tell the members all the time, it's important where the candlestick goes, but it's more important where the candlestick closes, because just because price touched the level, just because price broke a level, there is no rule that says that means price is going to continue to go that direction. So when I say wait for a retest, you don't just want price to break a level, you want to see if it can then retest and turn it from a resistance to support and go for buys. Or if you're looking for sells, you don't want to enter sells off of support levels, you want to wait for a price to break and retest and turn a support level into resistance, right? So when we go to Friday and Thursday last week, that's why even though on the smaller time frame there was bearish momentum, on the bigger time frame was bullish. That's why we went for buys. But what would have happened here, right? Let's say you was FOMOing and you tried to go for a buy setup here. Price broke this level, but here comes the fake out liquidity grab, right? But why did price push up further here? It's not because the bulls came into play, but it's because, as you can see here, price broke and turned this level from resistance to support, right? Same thing if you would have saw price tank before New York session. Everybody that tried to go for sales 9 o'clock, 9:30 would have got fucked up because, again, price broke this level, but did it change this level from a support to a resistance? No, it did not. This is why we talk about during the TikTok lives all the time. This is why we talk about the playbook. This is why I talk about and teach with the playmakers at Playmaker University. Again, you want to enter buys also, and I talk about this in the trade breakdowns as well. Everything I say is important. I'm not one of these people that just be saying shit just to say shit. Everything I say, I mean. Everything I mean, I say. Everything I tell y'all to do, I do. Everything I tell y'all not to do, I used to do it, and that's why I don't do this shit no more. So that's basically what it means to wait for a retest. Again, you want to enter buys of support levels, sells off resistance levels. That's why even though price touched this level, if we would have went for a buy before it showed it was holding at support, we would have got a stop loss hit. That's also what with GU, if we would have, let's get rid of this really quick. All right. And then we can see here, again, price, we would have got wicked out, but you can see here how price broke. And bounce back up, right? So again, you want to wait for the break and retest. That's why multiple times in this live stream, if we would have went for buys here just because price broke this level, we would have got wicked out 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 different times, just because we was rushing the setup and trying to enter buys off resistance levels. You see what I'm saying? But I fucked up on US30. My levels were off, so I actually missed the entry point. And we could have been in profit right now, but it is all good. It is all good. Setups are missed all the time. It happens. But that's what I mean when I talk about breaks and retests and all that good stuff. I messed up on my levels on US30. Again, I'm not perfect. Shit happens. So we should have actually entered here and we would have had the retest here. But I think that when I was clicking too fast, I dragged my level too far down. So that's why I was like, wait a second, this is not an even level. So I fixed it now. So now it's where it's supposed to be, but we missed that entry. So it is what it is though. It happens. It happens, but we could have got a nice retest right here and entered, but my levels were off, so I missed it. But game plan's still the same. As long as we maintain 48,810 as resistance, we're gonna look for sells. So we're either gonna look for price to retest that level, or we can retrace and retest 48,650. 48,660 as resistance, then we could look for sales going to 48,480. So the game plan's still the same nonetheless. I just have the second entry point level off, but it's fixed now. Alright, y'all, so the news didn't do shit. It is what it is. So again, if we don't see any action between now and 6 a.m., I highly recommend just waiting for 8 a.m., 9:30 New York open to look for a setup. But the game plan is still the same for all the charts. We're still looking for buys on GJ and GU. We're still looking for sells on US30 today. And then gold, unless price retraces, we're going to leave gold alone for today. Shout out to everybody in the live, y'all. Shout out to everybody who's been alive since the beginning. Shout out to everybody who's been alive since y'all joined. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free student, free Telegram. Also, again, make sure to take advantage of the tiers. There's no excuse not to be able to become a playmaker now and to catch these setups. Again, if you got any questions, you can contact me directly on Instagram, Telegram, or TikTok. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I see you scrolling at the bottom of y'all screens. Instagram, playmaker_way, TikTok, _playmakerway_. Post daily on both pages. And we should be live on TikTok today as well. But like always, I'm going to send you a noti and the free Telegram, first link in the description when we're live on YouTube or TikTok. Peace. We out.